So, Michele, what is the next thing we're going to be showing our viewers this evening?
We were saying how important the bread is, the pane toscano.
Oh, yes.
And we're just going to do a bruschetta, which what probably very basic, what they actually, Toscani, they call fettunta, which is...
Slices, oiled bread slices. Yeah. So there you go.
You can actually use a nice slice of bread. It doesn't have to be fresh for the bruschetta. Okay, it can be actually a day old, no more than
Better casareccio style though, like a more coarser style of bread. Yes, so we don't want white sliced bread.
No, that won't.
It won't work.
No.
And it's become so popular all over Melbourne. I think it's replacing, or won't be replacing pizza, but in terms of what it is a snack food. It's fantastic and madly healthy.
Yeah, and very appetizing, I think. What I've got here, I've got some olive oil that I put overnight with a couple of cloves of garlic and some basil.
So it's flavoured through?
Usually there's some people that rub garlic in here. Yes. It's beautiful, but there's a lot of garlic, so you're not really able to go out or kiss your partner after. So what do you do to make it? But lovely
fresh garlic is not overly strong, is it? Now, my wonderful mother in Gippsland, who's been kind enough to give us some Gippsland garlic, and although we don't want to denigrate the imported product, but a lot of the garlic out there on the market is Chinese, but it doesn't have the strength of flavour. This has got a sweeter perfume, I think, as well, the local stuff, if you can get it. And take it out of the skin, obviously, and marinate it.
And put it in there. And
so first we've got to grill the bread.
Yeah, of course. You grill the bread, then you brush a little bit.
So una griglietta.
And then I mean, the basic, really, the most traditional one is some fresh tomato. Now, there's a lot of tomato in Toscana.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks to Colombo again. So we just put some, what I did, I mean, basically fresh tomatoes, some basil, you want to put some onions, beautiful, some red onions.
What sort of tomatoes are we talking about here? These Romas?
We're using your mother's tomato again.
Oh, thanks, Mum.
Okay.
Beautiful. So do we de-seed them? Leave the seed?
The Roman tomato from Gippsland, I didn't know they came so far, the Romans, but, you know, they made it up to here. I took, it depends how many seeds they've got. If there are a lot of seeds, I took some out because it's not really, it doesn't really taste good with a lot of seeds. So just
Spanish onion?
Some Spanish onion, some basil, salt and pepper, olive oil, basically. Buono. But really, the most traditional bruschetta was actually just with brushed oil and a little bit of salt on top and pepper. Probably that was the
meal.
That's a basic bruschetta.
Bene.
And then if you
a bit higher class, let's talk.
Or if you got a farm, you've got a few pigs and or Western pork plain, they want to give us some nice prosciutto sometimes. We can actually, basically, that's what it is. It goes really well because the prosciutto is a little bit salty.
Beautiful. Look
especially
at that.
in Australia. Because they mature
and you can use capocollo and pancetta or any of that sort of stuff, can't you? Those
even
cute
a piece of pecorino.
So, Michele, let's do that other thing that is so Toscano. Panzanella.
Panzanella, I think a few years ago was really fashionable in Melbourne as well. Panzanella, what do you need to panzanella? We need some really pane toscano, or just, you know, homemade bread.
Is that old?
Yeah,
stale bread?
It has to be hard, So another way of using bread, you know. All the time when we talk about Italian bread, you always have to think that once upon a time bread used to be made once a week if you were lucky.
Yes.
So you have to find a way of using this bread. And
so Michele, now that is stale bread. Our viewers, if they've got some leftover bread at home.
Yeah. That's the best way.
And Italians always have leftover bread, don't they?
And Italians never put bread in plastic bags. That's the big difference.
I see, yeah. They put them in like tins or earthenware pots or whatever.
Yeah. Yes. Stale bread, put it in water, cold water, till it gets soft again. So what we're doing is a bread salad. Now,
bread and tomato salad.
Yeah, it's a really basic ingredient. So you get this bread.
Do you know, Michele, that...
Just squeeze some of the water out,
When my grandmother was alive, she used to use that stale bread and used to have it for breakfast in the morning in milk. You know, the Italians are very resourceful.
Yeah, my grandma used to do that.
You know what I mean?
You know what you can actually do with this bread? You can actually put it on a plate with some olive oil and chopped garlic and salt and pepper. It's beautiful.
And just eat it like so. Oh, yum.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's good if you got vampires, what do you think?
So how long do we soak the bread in water for? Is it warm water? Or just cold water?
Cold water, till it's soft, okay?
Okay.
Then what I do...
Can I just peel that? So, yeah, I can see it's all beautiful.
You see, if you're doing this with normal bread, it gets, you lose it. You can't really do it.
You want it chunky and,
Now I'm going to get Drago to give me a hand. What we're going to put at the basic is tomato. So we got some tomato and basil.
Do we need to skin our tomatoes, or can we use them whole?
You can use them whole if they're fresh, if they come from Gippsland. Okay, you can cut it any way you want it, okay? Beautiful. So that's very easy. Some nice basil. And then we need some cucumbers, of course.
How do I say this in Italian?
Cetriolo. Or if you go a little bit south, they call it citrolo.
And if you go up to the Veneto, they call it cocomero, which is watermelon. You know how the Italians always change words?
And some red onions. And
now, why are they soaking in water? There's a trick about that, isn't there?
Yeah, it's always put it in water because you get rid of the really that thing that the onions has got is like this part that's really strong in your mouth. So you soak it in water for a few hours.
Is it an apprentice job or is it a chef job?
Depends how much money you've got. Usually it's a chef job. Anyway.
This is to die for. It's just beautiful. Beautiful.
And then, okay, so basically what we actually need now is some really good olive oil that Drago is going to pour for me on top.
What quantities are we talking about here, Michele?
Generous. So
Generous.
let's say half a teaspoon per person if you want, and yeah, beautiful.
This is going to feed about 5 or 6 people?
Not really hungry ones, yeah. And some vinegar, okay? You can use balsamic vinegar if you want, but all your bread is going to get really dark. And I think what we actually got, we got some white balsamic.
Now, look, these are our beautiful people, friends at Kirk's, who hail from Gippsland, so I'm there plugging them as well. They've got this beautiful white balsamic, which, as Michele says, has got that intensity of flavour, very sweet, but it doesn't have the colour. So perfect for this sort of salad.
You probably have to do double quantity of vinegar, okay? Some cracked pepper.
Oh, smell that vinegar. Strong.
This is really good in summer, really. It's the best salad you can have, really nice and refreshing.
Wanna look? Michele, some of our listeners have actually called and told us that we don't speak enough Italian, so they wanted to do a bit more of the Italian thing.
Yeah, we're going to have subtitles.
Wanna look at that? And always have a chef with clean fingers, of course. Because Italian mothers always have clean hands. They're always wiping their hands on their aprons. All Italian grandmothers have aprons. Bene, look.
The cucumbers, you can actually leave the skin on, but Italians don't like the skin of the cucumbers. And
they're lovely and fresh, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, they're still soft.
Now, that's a salad. Now, what are we going to do is actually... because to make it a little bit more interesting. Because
and also James. Now, James Clowns, who always sends us in the best of seafood. Michele is going to show a bit of variation on the panzanella.
Yeah, because sometimes, you know, you go guest at home, you're going to say, I've got a bread salad. They're going to say, wow, that's interesting. We're going to do some nice seafood. Now, what we got here, we got some prawns, some nice prawns, some calamari. Yeah.
You're going to show our viewers how to clean those prawns, Michele?
Some octopus came from beautiful. Some scallops. And what I've got here is some prawns, okay? There's a few ways of cleaning prawns. Sometimes it's actually, they tell you to clean it up here and cut it open. But I think sometimes it's actually good to keep the shape of the prawns. It depends on what you want to do. So what you need the skewer towards the end, okay? You can see you got the
vein.
Yeah, and very gentle, you just pull this out.
Oh, look at that, look at that.
Okay, not even James knew this, I bet.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Italians are so resourceful. Fantastic. So you just got to pierce underneath that line and just remove the vein very gently. As Michele says. It worked for the first one, it may not work for the second one.
Okay.
There you go. Buonasera, buon appetito e grazie a tutti voi. Buonasera.